This is the screencast for Lesson 19 in Stephen C# 24-Hour Trainer. This lesson talked about loops. In this try it, we're going to use a while loop to make a login form appear as long as the user has not entered a correct username and password. This is the main form. There's a bunch of different ways to approach this problem. The way I'm going to do it in this application is I'm going to have the main form display the login form and keep displaying that form until the user either cancels or gets a correct username and password. So this is the main form. It just has a congratulations you logged in message. In a real application, this would have whatever it is that your main form should have. Here's the login form. This is just a simple dialog. You can build it yourself. It's pretty straightforward. The OK button is the dialog's accept button. The cancel button is the dialog's cancel button. And because this form doesn't do any validation, I've set the OK button's dialog result property to OK, right there. So when the user clicks that button, it'll automatically close this form, this dialog. Then the main form takes over. So in this form's form load event handler is the thing that does all the work. What it's going to do is display this login form and keep displaying it until the user gets it right. So let's create the new login form. And now we're going to begin our loop. To control the loop, I'm going to create a Boolean variable that will be true as long as I want to keep trying to log in. So I'm going to say bool trying to log in equals true. That's going to be our variable. And now I'm going to say while trying to log in. This is where we do all the work. So as long as the user hasn't finished trying to log in, what do? Well, let's display the form. We'll show it modally as a dialog, and we'll check the return result. So if the user entered a username and password and pressed OK, then we're going to try to validate the username and password. So check password here. Else, the user did not press OK. That means the user pressed cancel. So if the user pressed cancel, we just want to get out of here. So we're going to close the main form and set trying to log in to false. So now when we get to the end of the loop, control goes back up to here. It checks trying to log in. It sees that it's no longer true. The loop ends. This routine ends, and the form closes because we set this dot close. All right, so up here, we need to check the password. In this case, I'm just going to check to see that the user typed a username of user and this password of secret. In a real application, you would want to do something much different. You'd probably want to look up the username and password in a dictionary or use some sort of integrated security system to make sure the user is authorized to use your program. So if form.username textbox.text equals user and form.password textbox.text equals secret, then what do? Well, that means the user has successfully logged in. So what we're going to do is set trying to log in equals false, so we know that the user did succeed. And that's all we need to do. The next time the control goes to the top of the loop, it checks trying to log in, sees that it's false, the loop ends. Because we did not close the form, the thing keeps running. Else, suppose the user entered an invalid username or password. All we're going to do here is display a message box. And I'm just going to say invalid username and password. So now if that occurs, we'll display the message box, the loop continues, we come back up to the top of the loop. Trying to log in is still true, so at this statement the program will display the form again. So let's give this a try. Okay, so you notice at this point the main form is not visible. You may recall from way back in one of the early lessons that the load event handler occurs after the form is ready to display but before it's visible. So this is the last chance we have to do something in this case, get a password before that form appears. So I'm going to enter some garbage here and an invalid password and click OK. The code right here decided that the password and username and password didn't match, so it displays our text box, and now it redisplays the form. This time I'm going to cancel, and the program ends. Let's start over again. I'm going to enter my user and password, and secret, and click OK. And the dialog goes away, the loop ends, and you see the main form which just says, "Congratulations, you successfully logged in."